Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're walking straight into what for so many people feels like the most intimidating, jargon-filled room in the entire financial world.
Oh, absolutely. The one where you feel like you don't belong.
Exactly. We are talking about investing.
Yeah.
And specifically that really deeply held belief that it's just not for you.
Yeah, that's when the inner voice kicks in with all the classics, I don't make enough money to invest, or I'm so scared I'll do it wrong and lose everything.
Or the big one. Investing is only for rich people.
Right, and these aren't just like casual thoughts. For millions of people, they are absolute roadblocks. They prevent you from even getting started.
And it just creates this devastating cycle, doesn't it? You feel left out, so you stay out.
And because you stay out, you miss out on growth, which just reinforces that original belief that, see, I knew the system wasn't for me.
But the whole point of our deep dive today is that the system, the actual reality of the U.S. financial system, has fundamentally changed. And it is time to smash through those walls.
Our mission today is, it's super focused. We are going to prove, literally, step by step, that an absolute beginner in the United States can start investing with the cost of a fancy sandwich.
With $10.
$10.
And when we say $10, we really, really mean it. This is not some, headline-grabbing gimmick.
No, not at all. This is a practical, doable reality. And it's all thanks to things like fractional shares, all these micro-investing apps, and the beautiful simplicity of low-cost index funds.
We want to take you from thinking investing is impossible to literally having your first transaction confirmed by the end of this.
But before we get into the technical stuff, we have to talk about the emotional side of this journey.
Yes.
Because the biggest barrier isn't your account balance, it's the story you tell yourself. I have to share this one anecdote from our source material because it just sums it all up perfectly. It's about the feeling of making that first tiny investment.
Tell us about that. I mean, what does that first $10 actually feel like?
It's transformative. I remember putting in my first small amount. It was nothing, really. But I felt this wave of relief so strong, I actually cried a little.
Wow.
Yeah, it was this realization that I had finally given my money permission to do something for me, even when I was sleeping.
Even when you weren't actively working.
Exactly. Even when I was doing something else, or maybe I was between jobs, my money was working.
So that's profound. It sounds like it's less about the $10 and more about, a shift in your identity.
That's it. It wasn't the money, it was the identity shift.
Yeah.
That tiny little act, it turned me from being just a consumer, just a worker, into an owner.
Browner.
And that gives you this immediate, quiet sense of power, of safety. If you feel like you're always playing defense with your money, this one small act is you finally going on offense.
Wow.
It's you taking the reins.
And I imagine that emotional connection, that feeling of control, is the fuel you need to actually keep doing it, stay consistent.
Yes. So let's start there. Let's deconstruct why this feels so hard for so many people in the first place.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the initial roadblocks, they are almost always emotional, not financial. It's this 1-2 punch of fear and shame.
Fear's the big one, right? The immediate obstacle.
Well, yeah, fear of doing it wrong, fear of losing your money, fear of looking stupid trying to navigate some complex website, and just the general overwhelming fear of the unknown.
And that fear gets so much worse because it feels like you're walking into a library where everyone is speaking a different language. You don't know the rules, you don't know the words.
And that leads right into the second punch, shame. Shame is that voice inside that says, I'm already behind.
Ugh, yes, we hear that all the time.
We do, and it doesn't matter your age. You could be 25 feeling like you should have started at 18, or you could be 45 feeling like you've missed out on 2 decades. That feeling of being permanently late is it's a crippling emotional anchor.
It's so unfair, too, because you're judging yourself for not knowing things that nobody ever taught you.
Well, that's the education gap, isn't it? It's a massive systemic failure in our school system. I mean, we spend years teaching kids complex geometry and the water cycle.
All valuable things, for sure.
Of course, but the basics of personal finance, like how compounding works, how inflation eats your money, how to actually own a piece of the economy.
The difference between a checking account and a brokerage account.
All of it. It's completely ignored.
It's just wild when you stop and think about it. We are expertly trained to be consumers and to take on debt, but we are not taught how to be owners.
Not at all. And that lack of institutional knowledge is probably the single biggest contributor to the wealth gap.
And that knowledge vacuum, it gets filled by something else.
It gets filled by the jargon barrier.
Yeah.
You know, financial professionals, for whatever reason, they seem to love using overly complicated language for really simple concepts.
Oh, 100%. It's like a secret handshake.
It is. When a beginner hears terms like securities or asset allocation, ex-dividend date, rebalancing, what's the immediate reaction?
You just shut down. You avoid it. The language itself is a gatekeeper. It's screaming, this place is not for you.
Exactly. Think about ETF, equity, dividend, market volatility. They sound like they belong in a grad school textbook.
But they're not that complicated.
Not at all. A dividend is just a little slice of profit a company shares with you. Equity just means ownership.
Yeah.
They're simple ideas, but they're wrapped in this language that feels exclusive.
And that avoidance, that's how people end up delaying for 5, 10, even 15 years.
And that costs them the most valuable resource they have, which is time. So our job today is to dismantle that jargon. Let's translate it into plain, normal, human language.
I love that. Okay, let's do it. Let's jump right into those human terms and define what we're actually doing when we invest that first $10.
Okay, let's start with the simplest definition possible. Investing is ownership.
That's it?
That's it. It is the act of buying a tiny, tiny piece of a real business. When you buy a share, or even just a fraction of a share, of a company like Microsoft or Coca-Cola, you become a part owner of that business.
So if I buy $10 worth of their stock, I have a tiny legal claim on that company's future profits, its factories, its software, everything.
Precisely. And that's why it matters. When Microsoft creates a new piece of AI, or when Coca-Cola sells millions more bottles around the world, the total value of that company goes up.
And since I'm an owner,
your small piece grows right along with their success. That's the whole machine. You're participating in the growth of the economy.
this definition is so important because it immediately separates what we're talking about from like pure gambling.
Yes. We have to be crystal clear about what investing is not.
Okay.
It is not day trading. It is not trying to time the market. That's a critical distinction for a beginner. Day trading, the frantic buying and selling based on the daily news, it's super stressful.
It's a full-time job, and you have to be right twice. When to get in and when to get out.
And statistically, almost everyone who tries it loses money. It's based on emotion. Our strategy for a beginner is the exact opposite of that. It's slow, it's steady.
It's boring in a good way.
In the best way. It's based on this philosophical belief that over a long time, decades, not days, the global economy will keep growing. You're betting on the system, not a hot tip.
Okay, so that brings us to the biggest relief for any beginner, I think. This concept of diversification.
Yeah.
This should take away almost all the fear of picking the wrong stock.
This is the beginner safety net. And it's the reason you don't need to be stressed about picking a winner. I mean, imagine the pressure of trying to decide between Tesla or ExxonMobil or Pfizer.
Yeah, that's paralyzing. That's why people don't start.
Right. So how do we remove that anxiety?
You buy all of them.
You basically buy all of them. Instead of picking one company, you can buy into a fund, which is like a big basket that holds hundreds or even thousands of different companies all at once.
So your $10 is instantly spread out.
Instantly, across different industries, different sizes of companies, all of it.
And this is key, because if I put all 10 of my dollars into one like random startup stock and it goes bankrupt.
Your $10 is gone.
But if I spread that $10 across a fund with 500 companies in it.
And one of those companies has a bad year or even goes bankrupt, the impact on your $10 is tiny. It's negligible because the other 499 companies are there to support it.
So you're protected from that catastrophic single stock risk.
Completely. And this means you don't need to be a genius. You don't need to read financial reports all day. You just need to be consistent.
Okay, let's define the tools that make this happen. Let's start with the big ones, index funds and ETFs. And let's get a little deeper than just a basket of companies.
Great. So an index fund at its core is a passive investment. Unlike an actively managed fund where you have some person trying to pick stocks and beat the market.
Which, as you said, they usually fail to do.
Statistically, most of them fail over the long term, yes. An index fund doesn't try to be clever, it just tracks a market index.
Like the S&P 500.
Exactly. The S&P 500 is just a list of the 500 biggest companies in the US. So an S&P 500 index fund just buys a little bit of all 500 of those companies. The genius is in its simplicity and, most importantly, its cost.
Let's talk about cost, because this is something most beginners totally miss. The expense ratio.
This is one of the most vital little nuggets of information. The expense ratio is just the annual fee a fund charges you to manage your money. Because index funds are passive, they're run by a computer just following a list, their fees are incredibly low. An active fund might charge you 1% a year. That doesn't sound like much.
But it eats away at your returns over decades.
Massively. But a typical S&P 500 ETF, you're looking at an expense ratio of something like 0.03%. That's practically free.
So almost all of that extra 1% goes back into your pocket every single year to keep compounding.
That's why index funds are the default choice. Now, you also mentioned ETFs, or exchange-traded funds. This is important for the $10 beginner.
Right, what's the difference between a traditional index fund and an ETF?
So, traditional mutual funds, they only trade once a day after the market closes. ETFs, on the other hand, trade all day long on the stock exchange, just like a regular stock.
And that ability to trade all day.
Yeah.
That's what makes fractional shares possible.
That's the magic key. Because they trade constantly, a brokerage can use technology to buy a tiny real-time slice of that ETF that's worth exactly your $10.
So I don't have to save up, say, $400 to buy one full share of an ETF.
Nope. You can buy $10 worth. Fractional shares completely remove the financial barrier to entry. It democratized the whole thing.
Okay, so now we know how we can buy in. Let's go back to why this $10 is so powerful. We talked about the psychological identity shift.
The psychological shift it's everything. Investing $10, it literally changes your brain's operating system. You go from being someone who watches the market on the news to someone who is in the market.
You're a participant.
You're building a habit of ownership. And that simple act teaches you, hey, I'm proactive. My money can make money for me. It starts to chip away at that shame of feeling behind.
It's about building the habit, not the immediate return.
It is about the habit. But let's also back that up with some cold, hard math. Let's quantify what happens over the long term with these tiny inputs.
Okay, let's use the specific example from the source. Investing just $10 a week.
$10 a week. That's about $40 a month. Let's say we assume a pretty standard historical average return for the stock market of, say, 8% per year.
$40 a month feels so small, almost like it's not worth it. So what does that become in, say, 20 years?
That $40 a month, invested consistently for 20 years at an 8% return, would grow to around $26,000.
Wow. Okay. That's real money.
That is real money. And get this, over those 20 years, you only put in about $9,600 of your own money. The market growth gave you the other $16,000 for free.
So the growth was way more than what I actually put in.
Exactly. And this is where it really gets crazy. If you just extend that timeline out to 30 years, same $40 a month, that total skyrockets to over $60,000.
So that extra 10 years more than doubled the final amount.
It did. And you only contributed an extra, $4,800 over that decade? The rest is pure growth on top of growth.
That's the snowball effect.
That's the magic of compound growth. In the early years, your own contributions are doing most of the work. But as time goes on, your returns start having their own babies. Your money earns money, and then that money earns more money.
By the end, the money you've already earned is working harder than the new money you're putting in.
Correct. And that is why time does all the heavy lifting. We have to stress this. Compounding depends on time. Not on a high income, not on being lucky, and definitely not on timing the market.
So if you're 25 and you feel behind, the absolute worst thing you could do is wait another year.
It's the only real mistake. Starting small right now maximizes your most powerful asset. Time is exponential, your income is only linear.
Okay, the why is rock solid. Psychological control and compound growth. Now for the where. We need to get practical. Which platforms are actually best for this $10 starting point?
We've completely removed the excuse that you need a lot of money. So now the question is just, which front door do you want to walk through? And there's no single perfect answer, but there are a lot of excellent choices.
Okay, let's start with the big trusted names. Fidelity and Charles Schwab. Why are these traditional guys suddenly great for a $10 beginner?
Because they finally adapted. Both Fidelity and Schwab saw where the world was going, and they embraced commission-free trading and fractional shares.
So they have all the security and stability of a big institution.
Exactly. Unmatched security, tons of research tools if you ever want them, and now the accessibility of the newer apps. The user interface might feel a little more corporate.
A little more complex.
Yeah, but they're perfect for someone who wants to build a long-term financial relationship all in one place.
Okay, what about Vanguard? They're famous for their funds. How does the $10 investor get a piece of that?
So Vanguard is the gold standard for index funds. They basically invented them. But to open an account directly with them for one of their mutual funds, you might need a minimum of like $1,000.
Which our $10 person doesn't have.
Right. But the workaround is simple. You can buy Vanguard's ETFs, their exchange-traded funds like VOO or VTI, through any of these other platforms.
Ah, so you use Fidelity or Schwab as the gateway to buy the Vanguard product.
Precisely. Now let's talk about the newer digital-first apps. Let's start with Robinhood. It brought investing to a lot of people, but you have a note of caution here. Robinhood's interface is brilliant. It's simple, it's intuitive, it makes it incredibly easy to start, and that's great. The caution is that it's also a bit gamified.
Right, it can feel like playing a game on your phone.
Yeah, and that can encourage you to trade frequently, to check it all the time, which is the exact opposite of the slow, steady strategy we're advocating.
So it's a powerful tool, but you need some serious self-discipline.
You do. My advice. Use Robinhood to set up an automatic recurring purchase of an index fund, and then hide the app in a folder on your phone so you're not tempted to look at it every day.
Good tip. Okay, let's move to a true micro-investing platform, Acorns.
Acorns is fascinating. It's built around this idea of roundups. You link your debit card, and every time you buy something, it rounds the purchase up to the next dollar and invests the spare change for you.
So if my coffee is $3.50, 50 cents just automatically gets invested.
That's the idea. It completely removes the decision-making process. It makes saving and investing invisible and automatic, which is perfect for building the habit.
And what about something like SoFi?
SoFi is a great all-in-one option. They started with loans, but now they have a really clean, user-friendly brokerage. They offer fractional shares, automated investing, and you can have your banking and investing all in one app. It's very beginner-friendly.
And finally, one that might surprise people, Cash App Investing.
Yeah, Cash App is surprisingly powerful for this. It has an incredibly low barrier to entry. You can buy a fractional share of a big company like Apple or Tesla with literally $1.
So for someone who already uses Cash App all the time.
It's the easiest possible bridge from spending to owning. It's perfect for just dipping your toe in the water.
So plenty of options. The path is clear. No more excuses. All right, we've solved the where. Now for what feels like the biggest mental hurdle of all, the what. You open one of these apps and you see thousands of stocks and charts and numbers. It's like a menu with 100 pages. How do we kill that decision fatigue?
We kill it by having a default, battle-tested recommendation that requires zero market knowledge. We're telling beginners to go for instant diversification, instant safety, and instant simplicity.
Which means broad market index funds and ETFs.
That's it. Forget picking stocks. The goal isn't to beat the market, especially when you're starting. The goal is to be the market.
And by buying a broad index fund, you're pretty much guaranteed to capture the average performance of the entire economy.
Which, over any long period of time in history, has always gone up. It removes the risk of any one single company blowing up your portfolio.
Okay, now we mentioned a couple of tickers earlier, VOO and VTI. For someone who's about to type one of these into the search bar, what's the actual difference in plain English?
Great question. So, VOO tracks the S&P 500. That's the 500 biggest companies in the US. Think Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, all the giants. It represents about 80% of the US stock market.
Okay, so VOO is a bet on the biggest players. What's VTI?
VTI is a total stock market index fund. So it holds all 500 companies that are in VOO, but then it also includes all the medium and small size companies too. Literally thousands of them.
So VTI is a bet on the entire American playing field, including the smaller up-and-coming companies.
Precisely. VTI gives you slightly broader diversification, but honestly, for a beginner, either one is a fantastic, safe, low-cost choice. You cannot go wrong picking either VOO or VTI for your first $10.
And that choice right there, that's the core of risk management for a beginner.
It's the ultimate defense. Look, the market is going to go up and down. You will have days where your $10 drops to $9.90. That's normal.
But by being diversified across hundreds of companies,
you're protected from disaster. You're spreading your risks so wide that those inevitable downturns are just minor bumps on a very long road to growth.
The advice is clear. Don't pick one stock. Just buy a piece of all of them.
If you stick to that rule, especially for your first few years, your chances of success go up dramatically.
Okay, we have the what and the where. Now we need the how. The behavioral foundation. What are the golden rules for long-term success?
There are 3, and they are so simple, but they are absolutely unforgiving if you ignore them.
All right, rule 1.
Start early, we've talked about it, but it bears repeating. Time beats talent every single time. That extra decade of compounding from starting at 20 versus 30 is something you can never, ever get back.
That opportunity cost is brutal. Okay, rule 2.
Start small. We've proven $10 is enough. The goal is to build the habit and gain confidence. Don't invest an amount of money that makes you nervous. Start small, get comfortable, and then you can increase it later when your income allows.
And rule 3, stay consistent. This is probably the hardest one in our world of instant gratification.
It is everything. Investing is not a sprint. It should be a slow, steady, and ideally automated process. And the technical term for this is dollar cost averaging.
Let's explain DCA because it's the #1 tool for consistency.
Dollar cost averaging is just the simple act of investing a fixed amount of money, like our $10, on a regular schedule, like every Monday, no matter what the market is doing.
So you buy whether the market is up or down.
You do, and it sounds counterintuitive, but it's brilliant.
Right.
When the price of your ETF is high, your $10 buys you fewer shares. But when the price drops, your same $10 automatically buys you more shares.
You're automatically buying more when things are on sale.
Exactly. It takes all the emotion and guesswork out of it. It harnesses the market's natural ups and downs to your long-term advantage. It's gardening, not gambling.
I love that. Okay, now let's flip it.
Yeah.
What are the big traps that cause beginners to lose money and quit?
Trap number 1, day trading. You have to say it again. If you're a beginner, just don't. You will almost certainly lose money. You'll mistake adrenaline for strategy and emotion for insight.
Trap number 2, TikTok hype.
This is the modern version of a bad stock tip from your uncle. Following hot stocks or meme stocks from some influencer online is pure speculation. They are not your financial advisor. Stick to the boring, proven index funds.
Trap 3, using crypto is your very first investment.
Look, crypto is here to stay, but it is incredibly volatile. If your very first investment drops 40% in a month, which can happen with crypto, you're going to panic, sell at a loss, and decide investing is a scam.
You'll be scared off forever.
Exactly. You need to build your foundation on something stable first.
And trap number 4, maybe the most important for overall financial health.
Investing money you need soon. If you need this money for rent next month or for a down payment in 2 years, it does not belong in the stock market.
This has to be long-term money.
It has to be. Before you invest a single dollar, you must have a basic emergency fund. At least 3 months of living expenses, sitting safely in a high-yield savings account. That's your bedrock. Investing comes after that.
Okay, we've laid out the strategy, but I know the listener is still feeling nervous. So let's talk about how we create emotional safety when we feel like we know nothing.
We have to validate that feeling. You are nervous, you feel scared, you feel judged. That is a completely normal reaction to entering a new high-stakes environment.
So how do we counteract that?
The whole strategy is designed for it. The emotional safety comes from starting small.
Because the stakes are so low.
Exactly. We start with $10 because if the market has a terrible day and drops 50%, you've lost $5. That's a cup of coffee. It's a learning expense, not a financial disaster. It lets you watch how the market moves from a safe distance without panicking.
You can be an observer instead of a victim.
Right. And the other huge emotional safety tool is automation. We touched on it with DCA. Automation removes your emotions from the day-to-day decisions.
And why is that so critical?
Because when the news is scary, when there's a recession or a global crisis, your human instinct is to stop investing, or even worse, to sell everything.
To run for the hills.
Yeah, but automation forces you to keep buying right through the dip. And since we know the market always recovers, historically, buying during those dips is the smartest thing you can do. Automation forces you to be rational when your brain wants to be emotional.
You set that $10 weekly investment and you just let it run, insulated from tomorrow's scary headlines.
You do. And just think about the emotional journey. You start out nervous, then you see your $10 become $10.15, and you get curious.
A little hopeful.
Then hopeful. And then after a year of consistent deposits, you look at your account and you feel this quiet sense of pride. That confidence is earned through repetition.
That little win, seeing $10 grow to $10.20, it's not about the 20 cents.
Not at all. It's the proof. It's the sign that says, this works. My money is working for me. I can do this. Every confident investor on earth started in that exact same nervous, tentative place.
Okay, this is it. The moment of truth.
Yeah.
We've handled the theory, we've validated the emotion. Now let's make the actual mechanics so simple there's no excuse. Let's walk through the 5 steps to invest that first $10.
Let's make this feel as easy as ordering a pizza online. It's really that simple. Step 1, choose your platform. Just pick one. Fidelity for stability, Acorns for automation, Cash App for ease. Don't spend more than 5 minutes on this. There is no wrong choice here. The best platform is the one you actually open.
Okay, done. Step 2, create your account.
This is just paperwork. You'll enter your info, verify your identity, connect your bank account. It's the same secure, regulated process as opening any financial account. It's boring, but necessary.
Got it. Step 3, transfer $10.
Transfer exactly $10. Not 100, not 50. Just that small, emotionally safe amount. The goal here is just to get the money in the door. It might take a day or two to settle.
Okay, the money's there. Now, step 4, search for your investment. This is where the panic can set in.
Deep breath. Go to the search bar in the app. Do not browse. Do not look at the trending stocks. You're going to type in one of two things, VOO or VTI.
And at this point, you're going to see the scary charts with all the red and green lines.
Yeah.
What is the one instruction here?
Ignore it. Ignore all of it. The price today does not matter. The chart does not matter. You are investing for the next 20 years. Your only job is to find the right ticker symbol and get to the buy screen.
Okay, so that leads us to step 5. Buy your fractional share, the final click.
You'll see the page for VOO or VTI. You'll tap the buy button. The app will ask you how much. Choose buy in dollars, not buy in shares. Enter the amount, $10.
And then you press confirm.
You review the order one last time. Buy $10 of VOO, and you press confirm.
And in that moment,
in that single tap, you've done it. You have officially transitioned from being only a consumer to being an owner. You now own a tiny piece of hundreds of the biggest companies in America. You've beaten the fear, you've beaten the jargon, and you've started.
And that little spark of seeing that $10 holding in your account, that's the feeling that will make you do it again next week and the week after. It's compounding confidence.
Okay, so even after that first click, some of those deep-seated fears might linger. Let's just face them head-on with some quick, reassuring answers.
Okay, first one.
What
if I lose everything?
Not going to happen with a diversified index fund.
Yeah.
For the entire U.S. stock market to go to zero, we'd have bigger problems than our investment accounts. The system is designed for long-term growth.
What if the market crashes right after I invest?
It will crash eventually. Crashes are a normal part of the cycle. Your job as a long-term investor is to ignore it, keep your automatic investments going, and trust that it will recover, just like it has after every single crash in history. A crash is just a sale for long-term buyers.
What if I'm starting too late? I'm 40, 50 years old.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Don't let regret about the past stop you from improving your future. Delaying another day is the only mistake you can make now.
What if I only have $10?
$10 is all you need to start. It's about the habit, not the amount. That $10 is the most powerful investment you'll ever make because it's the first one.
What if I picked the wrong platform or the wrong fund?
You picked VOO or VTI. There is no wrong choice between them. And if you pick Fidelity instead of Schwab, it doesn't matter. The tiny differences are irrelevant compared to the massive cost of not starting at all. Action is the goal. Okay, now let's do one final thing. Let's connect this action you're about to take to the person you're doing it for, your future self.
Let's do a quick visualization. Just take a breath and imagine yourself 10 or 20 years from now. This version of you is calmer about money, safer, more stable.
Now, see that future self get an unexpected bill, a car repair, a medical expense, and notice what's missing. That gut punch of panic isn't there. There's a sense of relief because they know they have a cushion, a growing portfolio that's been working for them for decades.
Now imagine that future you looks back at the you that's listening to this right now. The you that's about to press confirm on a $10 purchase. What do they say?
They say, thank you. Thank you for doing that scary thing today. Thank you for believing we were worth it. Even when you only had $10, that wasn't just money. That was the start of everything. That was the promise you made to me that you would build a safer life for us. Feel that gratitude. That's the real return on your investment. #outro.
That feeling of quiet competence is what we really hope you take away from this. As we wrap up, let's just hammer home the 5 unshakable truths we've established today.
Truth 1. You do not need a lot of money to invest. $10 is more than enough.
Truth 2. You do not need to understand everything. A simple index fund gives you instant safety without you needing to be an expert.
Truth 3. You do not need perfect timing. Starting today and being consistent is infinitely better than waiting for the right moment.
Truth 4. You don't need to be fearless. It's okay to start scared. Just start.
And truth 5. You just need to begin. That first $10 is your declaration. It's your ticket into the game of ownership.
Thank you so much for joining us and for choosing to show up for your financial future. Remember, that first step is always the most powerful one. You deserve this. You deserve stability and peace of mind.
And my final provocative thought for you is this. Once you make that first $10 investment, I want you to track two things. Don't just track the financial growth, the $10 becoming $10.20. I want you to track the emotional difference. Notice how you feel about money the week after you start versus the week before. That reduction in anxiety, that flicker of pride. The initial return on that first $10 isn't cash, it's confidence. And that is absolutely priceless.